My name is Gareth Wilson, I'm the design director at Sumo Digital.
What are you guys showing new here with Crackdown 3?
Sorry?
What are you guys showing new here with Crackdown 3?
Oh, so this time around at E3 we're showing the campaign side of the game. The campaign game is 4-player co-op, and it's a game where you take out a criminal gang that has infiltrated a city in the middle of the Pacific called New Providence. You turn up with an agency battle crew, which basically gets its ass kicked. You're the last sole survivor, and you have to go through the city, identifying the lieutenants and the captains and the kingpins in the city, taking them out one by one.
So it's been a long time since we've seen another Crackdown game. Why have you made us wait so long?
Yeah, because it needs to be good, man. So yeah, I've been really annoying my team, going, we need to absolutely nail the character movement, nail how the weapons work, nail how all of the core mechanics work, get a narrative right and all that sort of things, because we wanted to make sure it was absolutely fantastic.
So talk about what you learned from Crackdown 2 that you've improved and made better in Crackdown 3.
Oh wow, so we're getting into the details. That's okay, cool. It was a great game mechanically, but when you're working on an IP which has been from a while ago, there's always things that you can improve. One thing that we've been looking at is making the world far more dynamic to the players' interactions. So when you take out bad guys in the game, the gangs will react. We've got a feature that we call Gangs Bite Back, where once you've done enough damage to the gangs, then the gangs will retaliate. They can retaliate in a huge variety of ways with different AI, from like little grunts and heavies all the way up to mechs and dropships and all that sort of thing. And those retaliations can happen anywhere in the city. So every time you play the game, you'll get a completely different experience.
So what was it like working with the Xbox One X, and what does it open up for you creatively without that hardware power?
So one thing we did with the Xbox One X was we wanted to make sure that the game itself was similar on all of the platforms, but when it comes to the graphics, the Xbox One X, it just allows us to go crazy. So we've got full 4K visuals, full 4K textures, and the draw distances that we can do on the Xbox One X are just awesome. So you can be on the top of a building and you can see out for miles and miles out into the city. You can see dudes walking around miles away, and it's interesting that a lot of the demonstrations this time round have been showing huge big vistas in their demos, and that's what we found with the Xbox One. One X, it can really handle huge short distances with thousands of things going on.
Now, having to port the game to PC, Xbox One, and Xbox One X, does that increase development time at all? Is it difficult?
Well, we were kind of fortunate actually, because when the game was commissioned, we were always going to be a PC title as well, and we were always going to be an Xbox One Play Anywhere title. So when it looked like Scorpio was coming out and it was looking like it was going to be developed, it was fairly straightforward for us, because we already had a PC game that was going to run at 4K, that we could port that one over to the Xbox One X. And the dev tools that the guys have got are really, really good. So we pretty much compiled the game on Xbox One X, pretty much ran at 4K almost straight away. That's how powerful it is. So we've been quite fortunate that way that we can get it ready for launch.
So like for someone who's never heard of a Crackdown game, talk a little bit about what you do in this game and why it's so popular.
Right, it's got a real unique play style to it, where you start off as a pretty limited character, but you level up to this ridiculously over-the-top, super powerful guy that can jump over buildings, can pick up oil tankers, can throw grenades that destroy hundreds of people in one go. So there's this huge power curve, and then the level of interactions that the player can do. You can pick up props, you can wield them, you can throw things, you can use explosives, you can use firearms, there's vehicles, there's so many different things you can do to take out an enemy that you get these really complex set of interactions that you can do, which makes the gameplay really unique.
What's it like knowing that there's a whole generation that this will be their first Crackdown game ever?
It's kind of weird, right? Because back in the day, when in the past, I remember working on the game when I was working on Gotham with Bizarre Creations. So I've got real fond memories of the title. But at Sumo Digital, we're really comfortable with taking on IPs which maybe haven't been developed for a while. That's what we did with Sonic Transformed and things like that. So you've got to make sure that you stay true to the original game, but you need to update it and make sure that it's relevant for the next generation. So we're always kind of balancing, adding new features versus keeping things that people are familiar with.
When does the game come out and what platforms will it be on?
So it comes out on November the 7th, comes out at the same time as Xbox One X. It's out on PC, Xbox One, and get ready for the boom.